G'day, welcome back. Chris Skean, and I'm sharing my fourth success tip. So, if we go back a few weeks, if you haven't watched the other ones and this is the first one, then you probably should go back and watch 1, 2, and 3. But look, why am I sharing 4 success tips that I'm not the guru by any stretch, but I've certainly learned from a lot of people, combination of so many people, so many successful people that I've studied, read books over the last realistically 6 or 7 years now, with the help of my own business coach and the business world I was in, and then led into my own learning from a whole lot of different avenues. So, the Tim Robbins's of the world, the Richard Bransons, the Les Browns, you can just ravel them off one after the other. There's so many people, and what I've learned, I've just brought it together and go, you know what? Each of them have their top 10 things for success, the top 5, the top 6. I like to do things in 4s, so I've brought it down to 4 tips, and just made things simple. Try to, the old KISS principle, keep it simple, Simon. So the first one, going back a few weeks, was getting clarity on your goal. We all know how to set goals, but a lot of people don't get clarity on it. They don't smell it, breathe it, live it, think it. I was only reading a book recently from an adventurer called Jeff Wilson. Amazing stories, amazing man, and his endurance and what he puts himself through, and for great causes. But he calls it his faith eye, where he can close his eyes and he thinks about the end goal, and sometimes that is almost the one thing that's got him through to the end goal, and not given up, and sometimes given up on life, not just the adventure. So that's the extreme. But if you want a goal, you've got to get clarity in it, and you can go back and watch that video. Taking action, one of the biggest failures in people, nearly everyone gets at some stage a chance to hear someone talk about goal setting, but then they don't take action. They don't know how to get into that groove of the doing, and resetting goals, and doing and resetting goals. So taking action, that was the second video. The third one was learning. So you need to be able to learn just like I've done. You need to be able to put good stuff in there and study successful people and the traits and the people skills and the attributes of a successful person. Now, what even is success? I won't go any further. Success is, what is it to you? It's different to a lot of people. It might be a sporting achievement. It might be a business achievement. It's not, by any stretch, would I say it's a money value, but certainly money makes the world go round, and without money you can't have lifestyle and all things and do all the things you want to do. So I was listening to, was it Les Brown? I think it was Les Brown talking about money and how in areas of very, very low money, so poor areas, there's a much higher rate of crime. So unfortunately it makes the world tick, and it's as close as there is to oxygen nearly. You need it. So whilst we don't measure success on the amount of money you have, it's certainly being successful is lifestyle things that only money can give you. So that's a measurement. So anyhow, so learning, you need to learn these things. That was the third one, and relearn and get your goal, get clarity, take action, learn as you go along, take action, learn as you go along. So that's kind of all about you. The fourth tip, and what I think is the one that brings it all together, and something I've learned, is having a coach or a mentor. I've done a little bit on this before, but again, everyone I've studied had a mentor or a coach at some time. Even the adventurer Jeff Wilson, he used to call an uplink. So he had people he used to learn from, and he used to mentor him and his uplinks that he relied heavily on for advice and for motivation. A coach or a mentor is someone who encourages you and guides you, and when you're going down a path that mightn't be wrong, or it mightn't be one that's going to lead you to success because you haven't got enough experience to see that, and the mentor has. They might see the danger ahead in anything, in a sport, business, adventure, real dangers, physical dangers, and they will steer you back on the right path. It's a mentor's job. Again, it's not rocket science. You just got to look at every industry, and even individual sports. Even individuals in business at some stage, well, it might be seemingly on the top of their tree at the moment, and they don't answer to anyone. But at some stage, everyone who's been successful has been mentored, whether it was even at an early stage or in their beginnings of business or whatever, by somebody. So mentorship, coaching, listening, getting someone who helps you keep on track, and just to have a good coach or a mentor, you've got to interact. It can't be one-way street and just receiving. If you're not giving feedback to that mentor or that coach, they have no idea where you are. How can they steer you? How can they help you? So again, 4 tips to success. If you could give these tips to somebody, anybody, say you're a 16-year-old child, and say, here's the 4 tips to success, according to Ski. Follow these to the nth degree, and he guarantees you'll be successful. You know what? I pretty much do. And I'll put it out there. I believe so wholeheartedly that the learning part is as important as everything else. So you can't get a goal, take action, don't learn, but have a coach, and he'll be beating his head up against the wall because he'll be telling you stuff and you won't understand, because you won't know how to relate to people. He'll be saying you have to do this or you have to do that. So without the learning, if you're willing to learn, then yes, wholeheartedly. If you're willing to take action, then yes, wholeheartedly. If you've got a goal and you're learning, you're a coach, but you're not doing anything, then you're not going to be successful. If you've got a goal and you're taking action and you're learning, but you haven't got a coach, at some stage you'll come unstuck, because maybe it's your ego that might get ahead of you. Maybe it's a crossroads, something you just have not come across before, something that you couldn't even learn about, or you haven't read about, or anything like that. Something that's happened to you seems unique, and you're the only person on the earth that's happened to. Yet a business coach or a mentor will be someone who will be able to look from a third perspective and go, you know what, let's think about that overnight, and might even help you. Might have the answer straight away, but they might help you investigate what to do. So they all intertwine. 4 things that intertwine with each other, that you can pick your goal, your thing that you want to do, and away you go. Implement them. So in finishing off my little series, my question to you is, what is your goal? What is your clarity? If you're watching this before Christmas 2016, then it's a great time to reflect and think about what you want to do, because it's going to go straight in New Year's Eve, and we all have those crazy New Year's resolutions. If you're watching this next year into 2017 or beyond, then it doesn't matter what time of year it is. If you have time of reflection at some stage and you don't even know what your goal is, then don't worry about actions steps 2 and 3. Skip straight to number 4. Find yourself a mentor who you can talk to, or a business coach you can talk to, or a sport coach you can talk to, and you go, here's where I am. I'm not even sure where I want to go. And they will ask the right questions. How do they know to ask the right questions? Because they've been there, they've experienced it. That's why they're a good coach or a good mentor. Someone who can give you some advice. They might not always know the answers, but they might be able to steer you in the direction of someone else who knows the answers, because that's their job. So if you don't know what you're doing, if you're lost, if you're in the wilderness, skip the second 2 and go straight to number 4. Get yourself a good coach. So as I said, I'm not the be and all end all, but my offer to you to finish off this little series is that I am offering anyone who wants it a 20-minute Skype call with myself, and I'll just ask some questions and may be able to help you get your life on track. If it's I've got business ventures going on. If it's business you want advice with, money, relationships, family, sport. You name it, whatever it is. I'm not saying I've got the answers, but as a business coach or a mentor, not every business coach or mentor does have the answers, but they know how to guide you. And I can say I will know how to guide you in a direction that will be positive. I can tell you that much. Okay, so any of those aspects, business, spiritual, relationships, success, any success, you want to be successful in something in your life, then the offer's out there to anyone. Just message me back. You can get Facebook obviously and say, I would like to take you up on that 20-minute Skype call, Chris, and that would be awesome. I love helping people, and it's free. Give. So that's my way of giving back to society, to the world. We don't think we can change it, but you wouldn't think you're an elephant either, but bite by bite. So thanks for listening. Good on yous. If you are watching this before Christmas, then have an awesome Christmas. If it's into the new year, then set your goals. Make it yours. And let me or someone else help you get there. Okay, cheers.